Okay, y'all, I'm finna put my pride to the side and be honest. Your girl is broke again. Yep, after the GoFundMe hit $50,000, I was not ready to deal with the shame of being a single mom, so I took that man back. But y'all already knew that part because I posted that video. But what y'all didn't know is he manipulated.
She had a GoFundMe hit $50,000. She raised $50,000 on GoFundMe for whatever the reason. And she's coming on here talking about she's broke. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna put my pride to the side and be honest. Your girl is broke again. Yep, after the GoFundMe hit $50,000, I was not ready to deal with the shame of being a single mom, so I took that man back. But y'all already knew that part because I posted that video. But what y'all didn't know is he manipulated me out of thousands of dollars before I was actually ready to let go. But that's my fault. That's what you get when you disobey God. Baby, he provided me a clean way out. I could have been healing in Cabo right now. But I decided to listen to lies again. And when I tell you I'm paying for it, oh, baby, I'm paying for it. And it's almost like the enemy want me to believe that was my last blessing. Like, my mind literally been tormented every single day. I've been having to cast down thoughts like God hates me, he's done with me, and he just doesn't love me anymore. And even though I made a foolish mistake, I feel like I am spiritually mature enough to know that God is literally never going to feel like that towards me. Because in the Bible,
Oh my goodness, man. This just gets so crazy. What? You made the decision. Hold on. How can those thoughts even cross your mind when you were given something and you didn't steward it appropriately? Do you want to have your autonomy or not? Because you want your autonomy, you want to be able to make the decisions that you want to make. But then when it doesn't work out, you just go looking for something to blame. And because there's no other person you could really blame, you go to the easiest thing and you start trying to blame God. Now it's just an external force out of your control. And this is the victimhood. And listen, she said she's been struggling with that. So I'm going to give her that. I'm not just going to act like she did take some accountability within this. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand how your mind could ever even go to that as opposed to just looking at yourself in the mirror. That's just me.
he just doesn't love me anymore. And even though I made a foolish mistake, I feel like I am spiritually mature enough to know that God is literally never going to feel like that towards me. Because in the Bible, it says he'll never leave or forsake you. I don't know. Comment down below what y'all think about that. And like I said, I've been going through a lot just coping with the fact that I took that big of an L. But some nice lady paid for my food that was in front of me today. So I decided to pay it forward and actually give back to people that appreciate it. But first I had to pawn these shoes. And it's not wrong because I bought. And shout out to my girl Nisha because she was a listening ear when I needed it, okay? It ain't like I pawned it and went bought dope. I went bought some pieces to give away to the homeless. Because even though I don't really have much and money a little funny right now that negative energy is really out of my life, I want to start back doing the stuff that I actually like doing before I let it in. The stuff that I should have been doing when I've got the money. And when I tell you it feels so good to get out there and make some people smile today, baby, I don't care if I gotta do it, bro. I'm finna make this a habit because I literally forgot how much I loved it. Anyways, I love y'all so much. Sincerely, DPS, we're not alone. If you know you're not alone, type it down below in the comments because we are not allowed. Okay, y'all.
Y'all, let's get a little bit more context on the situation before we really start to dive into it. Before we do, though, if you can like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's literally just a click. Literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And then also, if you can hype the video as well.
A single mother who became homeless received $50,000 through GoFundMe.
Single mom gives GoFundMe money to her children's father and becomes homeless again. Remember, keep this in the context of the fact that she raised $50,000 on GoFundMe. $50,000 people gave her for a specific purpose. Most likely wasn't that specific, really just, we like you, you're a single mom, you're struggling. Here, hope this helps. And it added up, it built up, and it became something that she could literally use to be able to make sure that she never ends up in that situation again, and give her a nice springboard to then carry the momentum and take it from there. And really, see, what it really should be is, in her case especially, here's $50,000. Now, don't ever come on here again asking for money. Half of $100,000 you raised. What that's really supposed to mean is, here, take this. Don't you ever come on here again asking for money. There you go. Now, you're back online. Like, I'm gonna be honest. People never give the positive updates as far as, yeah, this helped me and I'll never have to come on here again. And this is what I'm doing moving forward. Ma'am, if you raise $50,000 through GoFundMe, if you mess it up, we don't need the negative update. We really don't. Let us live in our delusion. Let us ride off into the sunset. Because I feel like if you're going to come with a negative update of how you're about to be homeless again, there's going to be an option probably for you to try to raise some more. No, you raise $50,000. You don't get to come on here begging again. I'm sorry. If you mess that up, there's no saving you. There's no helping you. In my opinion. All right. So again, gave the GoFundMe mother money allegedly to her children's father and becomes homeless again. Keep in mind too, a lot of these people are scammers, man. So do we have his side? If not, it's unverified and it could be fake altogether in order to run it back up again, get the other half. And by other half, she's like, shoot, we raised 50. When I was broke, that sounded good, but I need 100. Let's get back into it. Again, if you could like the video.
A single mother who became homeless received $50,000 through GoFundMe, but she says she is now broke again after giving much of the money to the father of her children. After the fundraiser reached $50,000, the woman spent part of the money on beauty treatments and several pairs of Nike shoes. She then got back together with her children's father and handed over thousands of dollars to him. In a recent video, she claimed he manipulated her out of the money.
Did they say she was... So she done raised the money online. And then she starts going to buy the most designer shoes too. So you were already on the verge of being homeless, possibly. And the first thing you do, the first thing you prioritize.
She then got back together with her children's father.
It's going to
$1,000. The woman spent...
Well, hold on, let me see.
Part of the money on beauty treatments and several pairs of Nike shoes. She then got back together with her...
Several pairs of Nike shoes. That's the first thing you do. And look what people do. They don't even keep the money on their card. Look at her counting this money.
Children's father and handed over...
They don't even keep the money on their card. They just withdraw it because they just can't wait to spend it. They're about to go on a spree. They can't believe it. Instead of looking at it and saying, oh, let me take a step back. Leave it right there. Don't touch it. Let me come up with a plan now. I wasn't expecting all this. But, because remember, she was blaming the Most High. But who thinks when she got the money, when she got the blessing, she took a step back and she honored it the way it's supposed to be honored by saying, wow, I just got blessed with this. Before I even start trying to spend it, let me really try to wrap my head around this. Probably more money than I've ever seen in my life. Let me try to wrap my head around what's first coming to me impulsively. And let me start evaluating the risks of how I could squander this. And let me just pray that I don't. Let me pray that I use this as effectively as possible, as responsibly as possible, and that I'm a good steward. Had she did that, it probably would have set in her subconscious. So then when other things would have happened, i.e., if we believe it, she gave the money away, or if somebody was like, yeah, transfer this over to me, then she'd have been like, oh, but I did pray about being a good steward. Something's flagging that this might not make sense. This might not make sense. Again, if you mess up $50,000, if you F that up, just go ahead and disappear and just figure it out. Figure it out. Figure out your situation. Listen, ma'am, it was your responsibility to figure out your situation to begin with, but with a $50,000 boost, if you mess that up, you're just gonna have to take the wheel and make it happen.
Pairs of Nike shoes. She then got back together with her children's father and handed over thousands of dollars to him. In a recent video, she claimed he manipulated her out of the money before she finally ended the relationship. She admitted that she had been given a chance to rebuild her life but made poor choices instead. She said she is now struggling financially again and has even pawned some of the shoes she bought. The woman also said a stranger recently paid for her food, which inspired her to help other people despite having little money left. However, reports that she may launch another GoFundMe have caused strong criticism online. Some commenters said the original $50,000 could have changed her life if it had been used for housing, bills, or her children. Others questioned why anyone should donate again after seeing how the first fundraiser was handled. A few people expressed sympathy, saying manipulation can happen in unhealthy relationships, but many said they would not support another campaign. What do you think? A single mother who became homeless.
Let's see what people think. Let's look at these comments for a second. That's what I thought. The first comment, it says, I think it was a scam that they were both in on, and then he turned on her. Just my thoughts. Could the first GoFundMe campaign have been a scam? Could they have been together the whole time? Then he turned on her. That's possible. Somebody said, I would have got a down payment on a home and also saved and flipped money to make more. Yeah, everybody think they just gonna flip some money. It don't work like that. Somebody said, when I was raising my children and running from my ex, $50K would have changed my kids' lives. This makes me queasy. Somebody said, some people don't want to be saved. Hey, imagine that. It should have been life-changing money. Someone like this could be given $1 million and she would be right back where she is in 3 months. I agree. Listen, no matter what you get in life, no matter where you go in life, you still got to take you with you. And if you don't have the internal traits, anything external that you're given, it's really not going to matter. You're still going to end up right where you belong, right where you are internally. And so if you're broke on the inside, then even if you're given money, you're going to wind up broke again. You got to fix that. You got to learn. Excuse me. You've got to become somebody who was already managing things effectively. And then you get $50,000 and then you start to say, okay, I can build on this. But you already don't manage your life effectively. Possibly don't manage your womb effectively. Because we're having kids with people that we don't want to be with. And then we're having kids that we really can't even financially take care of. So that tells me you'll probably take on other responsibilities and other overheads that you can't afford. And that prevents you from being able to save month after month.
But I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all to stop disobeying God. I remember the first time God told me to leave this man alone. But I didn't want to humble myself and move back in with my mother. Hey y'all, I'm finna put my pride to the side and be honest.
Your girl is broke again.
Yep, after the GoFundMe hit 50,000.
Hold on. That didn't seem that seems a little, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
But I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all to stop disobeying God. I remember the first time God told me to leave this man alone. But I didn't want to humble myself and move back in with my mother.
Dang, that seems really exaggerated. I'm not going to lie. Like, you see some people crying and I can't really tell. And then people in the comment section will still be like, yeah, they're faking fake tears. That seemed fake. And then she was tilting her head back. Now that seemed fabricated for real. I definitely don't think I believe that.
I cannot believe that girl got $50,000 from her supporters and then turned around and got back with that man. See, let me tell you something. I myself was in an abusive relationship. I never went to the internet to ask for money. However, I worked hard. Okay, let me tell you what I did. So rather than asking for anything free, I went on the internet and I said, hey, I will do you guys' makeup for diapers and wipes for my baby. This man is not helping me with my child.
Man. Fellas, let me know in the comments. Do you like this? All this caked on makeup? This is just too much for me, in my opinion. It's a lot. I know she's a makeup artist, so obviously maybe she is more interested in makeup than the average person, to where she's passionate about it. But goodness gracious, that's a lot. That's a lot of makeup. I wouldn't be able to deal with that.
I need my child to have clothes and everything. All I had was my taxes at the time. I need to make some shake. My supporters, my clients came through and did what they had to do. It wasn't a situation where I'm taking money and fleeing from a man only to go back to him. And then come to find out, she let the man.
So is that what the fun? Wow, this is getting deep. See, I guess she's more familiar with the situation. Sometimes I like to just build the ship while we sail it. So that's what we're doing. So what we just uncovered, allegedly, is that she was raising the money. And part of her victim story was the fact that she was raising it because she left the man who was what she said, her side, he's abusive or whatever. And so she was raising the money, saying that she was raising it to leave him because I guess she left him and all of a sudden she was in a financially unstable place. She was able to raise all this money. Then she goes back to him. Then she has the nerve to come on here and say that she gave it to him. I wonder if she saw the success from already raising the money, because there's a lot of people who are passionate about, abuse from this side. And so from this side, I mean, man on female, there's a lot of people who are like super passionate about that. So it pulls on their heartstrings and they donate. And then what happens? She has to come out with a story using him again, right? And now she's saying it's because he manipulated me, which still feeds into the abuse aspect. And I'm guessing, does she think that that's going to allow her to then recoup the money by using him as the rationale for it again? I did not know that piece. That makes it even more diabolical, in my opinion.
From a man only to go back to him. And then come to find out, she let the man manipulate him out of money. Me getting that money would have undumbed me so quick. Like, I would have been undumbed for real. Like, undumbed, not even a word, but I would have been undumbed yesterday, okay? Because ain't no way these people supported you and you slapped them in the face by going back to that man and keeping the money. That is wild. And that's why we as women have to know our worth, because that is crazy, okay? Yes, I have been done. I've been dumb over a man. I have stayed in situations that meant me no good. But there is no way you have the ability to walk away from a situation and she didn't even go through half of what I went through. Okay? I went dead broke. Nothing. Got no money. Had to pull myself up by the bootstraps. And that's the problem. When y'all let people get away scot-free from their consequences of their actions, because they never had no business being with that man in the first place, that's what you get right there. Stupidity. See, me, I know not to walk back into a situation like that because it took me a lot to get up out of this on my own.
Yeah, you know what it also reveals? It reveals what we already know. A lot of ladies already know a dude's character. They know they not ish. They know that they're criminals, they're felons, they're just bad people all the way around. But you still choose to be with them, even knowing what comes with that. And it gets even deeper to this point to where she already had the history of firsthand experience, and to the point to where she came on letting other people know it got that bad and using it as a way to try to raise some money. But then she still went back to something that she knew was bad for her to begin with. And that was the reason for her being able to get a blessing, which just shows that a lot of times the ladies, they know that someone is bad for them, or that they're just not a good person to try to be with, but yet something about them still makes them want to be with them. And so, and especially when you have kids, I think that's crazy. If it's what you say it is, if we just take that. But yeah, I find that amazing. And you know what's crazy? I'm looking at these comments. So I guess she raised the 50K in May. This comment says 50K in May, broke in July. What? So she raised the 50K in May and then she was broke in July. Somebody said, man, we're getting all type of details about this situation. That just makes it so much worse. Somebody said, and he was a married man. Somebody said, no. She said, it's on her page. That's why I listened to her, because most mistresses don't take accountability, but now she could lose custody if she's not stable. I must just say allegedly to that. Somebody said she's been looking for a GoFundMe come up. She even created a GoFundMe for the baby daddy and his mama. Hers finally worked. So has she done multiple GoFundMe? So she's been trying to make it pop. And now she raised a 50K. And so and this feeds back to the scam mentality that I was talking about. Remember, we're just going off the facts based off what she's telling us. Would you be surprised to find out that she did indeed not give away the $50,000 and she still has the $50,000? And now this can be an opportunity to raise even more money. Do we not leave room for the fact that that could possibly be true, is probably true, and she's incentivized to actually do it? There is absolutely a good reason to do it, because that would be direct money in your bank account. She would definitely do it. She would definitely do it. And see, these people so bold today, they'll come on here, raise some money for something, be bold enough to tell you, yeah, I gave it to the person that I was raising the money to try to get away from. And then if she raised some more money, she could be bold enough to come up with another story and talk about oh man, I gave it to him again. He manipulated me again. I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't put it past anybody. They are bold when it comes to this begging and raising this money. So, listen, this could be a scam altogether. I personally feel like it is a scam altogether.
Yo, TikTok is slowly turning into bird watching, big dog. Like, there's this lady who just came across my timeline. Apparently, she raised $50,000. She raised $50,000 in a GoFundMe. Okay, that's the thing too about like people on the internet. People are so nice. She raised $50,000. She gives majority of it to a man who she's not married to, and is cheating on her, and he's just manipulating her. He's doing all type of shit to her, and she gave this man the $50,000.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna put my pride to the side and be honest.
Your girl is broke again.
Yep, after the GoFundMe hit $50,000, I was not ready to deal with the shame of being like, God. But that's my.
The whole video, she's like returning shit too. Like I had just noticed that. She's like going to the return section. She going to the pawn shop. Girl, you brokety broke. And here's the thing too, and this is why I get so mad when y'all bring God up into y'all foolishness, or some of y'all think pieces and shit like that. Y'all bring God up into every fucking thing. If God is giving you a way to get out of it, it is your job to see that through. Okay? It's only so many lifelines a nigga can send you, big dog. Like, imagine you drowning and a motherfucker throwing 20 life jackets at you. And you still won't take one of them because it's not the right one. All right, big dog.
Okay, this is not my normal content, but I was scrolling TikTok and I want to be
Mine
messy.
neither.
So, did y'all see the woman that, I guess she had to GoFundMe? I don't follow her page because I don't follow that kind of content. I don't like, and I don't care if you unfollow me for saying this, I don't like the single mom, 10 kids, living out of a hotel. I don't like that content at all because you can control how many kids you got. I don't feel sorry. I don't have no sympathy. I just don't.
Thank you. I'm glad to know I'm not just off on an island out here. People out here making decisions that they don't want to be responsible for, and then they try to push it off like it's everybody else's problem, and like everybody else is insensitive and all this type of stuff. You'll want to be like, oh, y'all are so cruel. You'll have all this smoke for people who are just telling the truth, which is you made this decision, and then you continue to habitually make it even more to an outrageous degree. But then we're the bad people for saying it. Listen, man, have that smoke for your baby father, because he's all these bad things, like she said, and you had to raise $50,000 to get away from him, but then you end up going back to him. How are these folks who are abusive and all this type of stuff, they getting treated real well to the point to where you have a come up and you taking him back and probably spending money on him. It will indefinitely spend money on him and giving him the money, treating him like the king. It just doesn't make any sense. I was going to finish this, but I actually want to hear what she has to say because she already started off showing that she's pretty much aligned with a lot of the things that I say.
Be wanting it on my timeline. Some kind of way this lady got up there. I guess she got 2 kids. I don't know the situation because I'm just looking at the reposts and the people talking or whatever. And some kind of way, I guess she did a GoFundMe, and everybody sent her like a total of $50,000. Yes, y'all heard that right. $50,000. Don't let the community and everybody talk y'all out of $50,000. That's a lot of money because most of us make about 30 to 60 a year. You got $50,000, for free for doing nothing, making videos. And she gave the $50,000 to her baby daddy who be cheating on her. Now she back online, basically dry begging, needs some more money. Some God told her to do
Dry
that.
begging.
God ain't tell you to do that.
Great job. Great job. Great way to frame that. That's what it really is. Dry begging. She's not directly asking to GoFundMe again, allegedly. But I'm sure she has a way for you to still support and donate. But yeah, basically dry begging. Because like I said, you can keep your story. If we gave you $50,000, you ride off into the sunset. We don't want to hear from you again unless it's something positive as far as telling us about the impact that the funds went to. But don't come on here to tell us about the negative situation and how you effed it up. No, we don't need to know that, because I feel like that is dry begging. You're telling us that it went wrong so that people can still send you some more, in my opinion. So yes, that is the perfect word for it. Dry begging. Sub begging. Here, subtweeting, that's sub begging.
That ain't, I ain't the most church going holy person, but God ain't never said nothing like that. He ain't never said no shit like that. Get no man $50,000. I thought he said take the man to the water, teach him how to fish or something like that. But he ain't never said get no man $50K. Gosh, you are a bird brain. Give me $1,000. That's all I need. And baby, we finna go back to COVID when we was juicing and sea moss. I'm finna pull the blender out, get the fruit from the store, and I'm gonna come back with at least $2,000, at least $1,000 profit. But this lady sat up here, y'all felt so sorry for her and her 2 kids that y'all got a GoFundMe of $50,000. That's crazy. Now I was looking.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy, but I think we pretty much covered it how we need to cover it. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for small channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, join buttons on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments where it would show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join buttons on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.